Emma was 7 when her second-grade teacher called home. Not because Emma was in trouble, because Emma hadn't stopped drawing. For 3 weeks, she filled every spare moment, lunch, recess, the backs of math worksheets, with the same picture. Mommy, Daddy, Doggy. Bright colors, big smiles. Normal, sweet even. But on the right side of every drawing, pressed into the paper so hard the pencil nearly tore through, was the other figure, dark, scratched, and surrounding it, written over and over in a child's unsteady hand, me, me, me. Her parents assumed it was a phase. It stopped the week after the car accident, the one that killed Emma's mother, father, and the family dog on Route 9. A Tuesday evening in November. Emma had been at a sleepover. She never went home again. Child Services placed her with her aunt. Emma never drew again. Never mentioned the drawings. Seemed, against all odds, to adjust. The drawings were forgotten. Boxed up with the estate. They were found 17 years later during the house sale. All 41 of them. Identical. Except the last one, dated the morning of the accident, where the smiling family figures on the left had been scribbled out. Only the dark figure remained, still labeled in careful, deliberate letters, me. The friend nobody saw. Chloe was 6 when she handed her teacher the drawing. Big smile. Proud, the way kids are when they've made something they love. Her teacher smiled back, then kept smiling a second too long, because something about the tall, dark figure beside the little blonde girl made her deeply uncomfortable. The eyes were just 2 solid black ovals, no pupils, no whites, just filled in, like the child had pressed down and never stopped. "Who's your best friend, Chloe?" "He doesn't have a name," she said. "He said names are for people who can be found." Her teacher wrote it off as an imaginary friend. Kids say strange things. But then Chloe started coming to school tired, pale, like she wasn't sleeping. When asked why, she said her best friend visited at night and that he stood in the corner of her room because he liked watching her breathe. Her parents took her to a therapist. The therapist's notes from session 3 read simply, "Child shows no signs of trauma or delusion. She speaks about the figure the way other children speak about a sibling, warmly, familiarly. I am not concerned about Chloe." At the bottom, added later in different ink, "I am concerned about the corner of her bedroom." The therapist quit the following week. Never said why. Chloe grew up normally, moved away at 22, got married. Her childhood home sold 3 times in 15 years. Each family left within months, citing different reasons. A feeling, a smell, a child who refused to sleep in the back bedroom. The last owners found a stack of drawings inside the wall during renovation. All Chloe's. All the same 2 figures. They wait every day. Maya was 8 when her teacher called home. Not because of her grades, not because of her behavior, because of what Maya said during show and tell. She held up the drawing with both hands, the way kids do when they're proud, and explained it like it was the most normal thing in the world. A red house, a swing set, herself standing on the grass, and 4 dark figures lined up on the right side of the hill. "Those are the kids who stand there every recess," she said. "They don't play, they just watch me. I drew them dark because I don't know their faces yet." Her teacher smiled through it. Kids have vivid imaginations. But after class, she pulled the security footage from the past 3 weeks. Every recess, Maya stood alone by the swing set, facing the hill. The hill was always empty. Her parents took her to a child psychologist, Dr. Karen Marsh. Calm woman, good with kids. She met with Maya 6 times over 2 months. Maya never changed her story, never elaborated wildly the way children do when they're making things up. Just repeated the same details in the same flat, certain voice. 4 of them. They stand in a line. They look at me, but not at the other kids. They've been there since the first day of school. Dr. Marsh noted in her file, No signs of delusion, no anxiety disorder, no trauma history. Child appears completely grounded. The consistency of the account is, frankly, more unsettling than embellishment would be. She recommended monitoring, nothing more. Maya's parents transferred her to a new school by spring. Maya adjusted fine, made friends, forgot about it, or seemed to. Dr. Marsh closed the file. She thought about it again 14 months later, not because of Maya, because of a case review that landed on her desk. A different child, different school, different city. 6 years old, referred for similar claims. Dark figures on a hill, watching, not interacting. Dr. Marsh requested the intake drawing out of professional curiosity. It was almost identical to Maya's. Same hill, same line of figures. She almost dismissed it as coincidence until she read the referring teacher's notes. The school in the new case was 40 miles away, but the address of the red building in the child's drawing, the one with the 6 windows and the steep roof, matched Maya's old school exactly. Dr. Marsh had never shared Maya's file with anyone. The two families had never met. She sat with that for a long time. Then she drove to Maya's old school on a Wednesday afternoon and parked across the street. Watched the kids pour out for recess. Watched them scatter across the yard. Watched the hill. She sat there for 19 minutes. Then she started her car and drove home and called her supervisor and told him she was taking a leave of absence. She never gave a reason. She never went back to that school. She never told anyone what she saw on that hill. But that evening, she took out Maya's drawing, which she had kept without entirely knowing why, and looked at it for a long time. 4 dark figures. She had always assumed Maya drew them dark because she couldn't see their faces. It was only now, after 14 months, that she considered the other explanation, that Maya drew them exactly as she saw them.